Alright, hello everybody, I am Agnel Angle, and we are getting back into more Great Ace Attorney. We're going to trial today, I believe. Yes, we are. Not used to not having a cutscene, honestly. I expected there to be a whole thing. A whole ordeal, if you will. Okay, we are in February. I always forget to pay attention to the dates, but I do like to think about it. It's cool. Okay, well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? Literally a day.
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Ryunosuke's swear arc?
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Good morning! Ah, Mr. Natsume. Good morning.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
Oh my gosh, they actually did color it red. I didn't notice that when I first played it. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. It's so true. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now, I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Oh no. Do all literary people take things so literally? It was like a joke, do you get it? I'm hilarious. What? What? She just ignored. Okay.
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
Is he okay? I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. But you, really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. Earthquake! Glad Edgeworth isn't here. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, look up to Mr. Naruto Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. I think it's more the fact that, the prosecutor is gonna be the Reaper again. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mrs. Sato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruto, but I have no idea.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, is it?
No, I'm just really good at acting, which you should also learn how to do.
Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? See? Got him. Lord Van Zeeks? What do you mean? Everyone talked about how scary he was. Is that right, Mr. Sato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
Oh my gosh. I knew it! You didn't know shit, Ryunosuke. Shut up.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? I heard that more from, the judge. Because the judge was like, it's been 5 years, and then he was like, it's been 5 years, or whatever. Oh, okay. See? Oh. Trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeeks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus the Gilded. Oh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking. And they are all speculating various answers.
There we go. Mundane! Mundane is the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Well, yeah, but like, he goes after high-profile people. I wouldn't say that this guy is high profile.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. I am having trouble reading tonight. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree. That it's taking place in the Old Bailey, and that Santa will be here.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it's you!
Me? Well, I suppose that's true, but how could he have known that I was taking this case?
Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! No, no.
Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers!
He's so scared.
I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation.
Really good parents! I'm sorry.
It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? Hey! By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you, punk.
Oh.
Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner to the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquires. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for... Oh, no. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session's about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright.
Let's go.
Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Just what I said. Yes! I have a feeling I'm going to be peaking my microphone a lot this recording. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. Oh, I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Is he going to say that at the beginning of every trial? I haven't paid attention. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Oh, I miss him. I want him back. I want him back. Alright, here we go. Got a couple of new jurors. And a couple of familiar jurors. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Why do you always do this, Vinci? 'Cause I swear. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. Oh no, not again. He doesn't even have his eyes open and he knows. Oh my god, can you just be quiet? I don't like having to read these lines! Alright, here we go. Xenophonies are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. What is that supposed to mean? That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. But I kicked your ass in court yesterday. Got him. Do you have a point? Thank you, Ryunosuke. Stand up for yourself. Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. What are you on about? How many Nipponese people have you talked to, Venzeeks, huh? I want to know. How many people do you know that are Japanese? I want you to tell me that immediately. If you don't know the entire country. Ooh! Ooh, okay, never mind. She has stopped me in my tracks.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Sato-san, get him!
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Don't remind me. Was he? I blacked out. I couldn't tell. Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end. Not violet end, it was violent. Yep. Also, that's a little disrespectful, but that's fine. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. I can't remember his voice. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Okay, isn't this a new character? Okay.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
I'll get there.
Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
Miss Garrett! What? You can't. Hi, Miss Garrett. I forgot that she was here. I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. You are... You should not be on this jury. You shouldn't be on the jury. I'm gonna... Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Oh my god, okay, I'm sorry. Some of them just don't have British accents, and that's just how it's gonna be. It's just how it has to happen.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
They all have this, the old men all have the same voice. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. The defense doesn't get one. Never do. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. Is this relevant? Well, actually, for once it is. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Sosekai Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Oh my god, already? Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. Okay, wow. That was fast. A knife crime, I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. What?
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
I swear. I hate you all. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. You can't do this yet. Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. I can't get his voice. Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. I'll figure him out. I'll figure him out as we go. Okay. Yeah. Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber, but I actually don't care. My taxes pay for the janitors. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Okay, sure. Very well, I don't care that you desecrated the chamber. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Oh my god, it's been so long since I did his voice. It's been so long since I've done your voice. Your name and occupation, please. Name's Gregson. Is that what he sounded like? Yes, sir. Toby's Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? Victim's thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. Olive Green? Beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knives, victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Dang, no identification? No family members? That sucks. Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. If you're comatose, your life is in danger. Especially in this time period? Could you even eat? Like, they couldn't... Did they have tubes and shit? I don't think they did. I think she would just die of starvation. Like, I wanna... Okay, again, Cody, help me out. Do me a solid. How? How would they have treated comatose patients? Help me. I need your help on this one. Thank you very much. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Attempted murder. It would be attempted murder, probably 2nd degree. I don't think that we could prove a motive or, like, pre-planning. And I guess aggravated battery, because the knife did, you know, cause severe injury. But, like, and, you know, aggravated just means with a weapon. If she was stabbed in the back, I doubt there was threatening, so I don't think you could say assault, because assault is just the threat of violence. Even that means, like, waving a knife at somebody. It doesn't have to be verbal. Yeah. There's my law lesson from when I studied forensics. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir? If I could ask everyone to look at this street map, not lamp. Look at this street lamp. Every time it makes me cramp. Okay, I'm done. I'm done referencing Nickelback. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. His voice might be completely different. I have no idea. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Sucks to suck. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course, and we're proceeding with trial anyway. We should not be here. We should wait. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. You can't have it. It's mine. Okay, file containing overview. She was found with a knife in her back and is currently in hospital, yet to regain consciousness, yeah. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Yeah, I would hope so. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Oh my gosh. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Whoa! We got the knife. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? What? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Oh, whoops. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes! If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? You don't need a reason. You just don't. I believe I've probably already ranted about this. You don't need a reason.
Yet you arrested the man in spite of that in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Of course you're gonna object. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. I tried so hard to get through that line with a straight face, but I forgot that he even mentions that he had just opened it. A freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Okay, here's my next headcanon. Somebody's already beaten me to this joke, but I like to think that whenever he is in trial, the area behind him is called the splash zone, and you have to sign a waiver to sit there. Okay, I'm gonna do a proper reading of this line now that I've completely screwed it up. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. I hate you so much. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. You have given us not a single piece of evidence. Like, I don't know what to say, man. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Well, then show me the evidence, man. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Yes, sir. Let's go. Gregson testimony. Love Gregsy. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Hold on. I get caught up in the voice and I don't pay attention to lines. Unusually light fog. I thought that Natsume said there was a very heavy fog. Huh. That is peculiar. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Okay. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. To me, it's wild that you would take a picture of a body, and you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes, of a body of someone at a crime scene who is not dead. Your first priority when there's a victim that is not dead, doesn't matter how close they are to it, is to save the life of the victim, obviously. You do not care about evidence. Evidence does not matter, because, like, tampering and destroying evidence does not matter when you're trying to save the victim's life. Just saying. So, like, I don't... it feels weird to me. They've done it before in Ace Attorney games, and it feels odd. Oh, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Okay. Large knife can be seen. Alright, let's take a look at everything we've gotten. Oh my god, shut up, Benzies. Okay, so we got a street map. There's our map. We have got secondhand bookshop. Okay, the picture of Monsieur Lecoux or something. A meal for Gabrielle. I don't know how to say these names. Canterbury Yearnings. Case files. Okay, case files, good. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green female, stout build, early 20s, I think. Pavement of Briar Road, east side. Reporting officer Raleigh Beat. Victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects because she's wearing green. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound, no other signs of injury. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Took a while, considering he was right there. Right across the street was his house, and there was no fog. Took a while for them to track him down, if that's the case. But, this is more what I was saying with the, what's his name? Mason? Whatever, the Mason guy. That's how much blood should be there. Close to none. Because it's a stopper. Now that we have gotten the evidence out of the way, I get to read a racist line, and I'm not happy about it. I was procrastinating, honestly. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Can you just shut your mouth? Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Again, all you've got is, process of elimination. That's all that he has right now. Like, there's no fingerprints, because they didn't know how to do that back then, I don't think. There's legitimately nothing that says it except somebody said they saw him. That's it. You have one eyewitness we have not even heard from yet.
Well, forgive me, Lord Benzeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mrs. Otto?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened, and how it was foggy.
Oh my gosh. A green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next?
Yeah, true. Would they have had would pictures have been in color in 1900? I am very bad with history and timelines.
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. Look at him go.
There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. The process of elimination does not work in a court of law. Sorry, that's not decisive evidence. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. Okay.
It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel.
Yep.
Proceed, please. Get on with it.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. Have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance.
Let's go. Let's get him. Okay. What should I press? As I said, it was 5 o'clock. Unusually light fog. I swear Natsume said it was a heavy fog.
A light fog, you say?
Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
Well, in these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. See, is that a backhanded, like, insult, or is that just, like, a statement? Like, you didn't have to say that. You could just say, since you just arrived here, you might not know that. Like,
I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Indeed. The other day I was nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a sign I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. I swear, he said yesterday. He said yesterday, do you not remember? Okay, visibility was reasonably good. I don't believe that. I don't buy it. How were you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. Hearsay! Hearsay! I want to hear the witnesses. Bring them up here immediately. I want to hear them. Also, I didn't ask you. I asked Gregson. Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson. Ah, yes, I forgot that Van Zeeks was the witness today. I really wish he would just bring out all of his salt. Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct. That's correct, ma'am. Oh, no. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. It is necessary! But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. Really? Dang. Sucks. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. He literally just said, I'm ignorant. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas street lights. Ah. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. Yeah. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. See, his salt can be funny sometimes. I have to admit, he can be funny. He can be funny, but he's evil.
Out of the blue, the video must stab. Okay.
From behind, you say? Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke. What? That's right. As you can see from this print. Yeah, literally.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition, comatose no less?
Yep. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. And we can't delay trial for the literal victim of the crime to testify!
Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
They're so stupid! Luck is on your client's side, it seems. If she was stabbed from behind, that's not really luck because she wouldn't have seen him. Oh my gosh, don't let him intimidate you, Runo. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. I think it's more the jerkiness of them, but hey, I do it too. You were just making fun of my appearance. Like, that's all that you're doing. You asked for the help of the famous detective Sherlock Sholmes to locate the defendant, I believe. Stuff and nonsense. What does that mean? Sorry? That jack in office, that busybody, just comes in and sticks his oar in whether we ask him or not. But according to what I have here, Mr. Sholmes was shown to the scene by Scotland Yard detectives. Well, that was nothing to do with me. The lads at the scene must have done it, without my permission. Uh-huh. Ah. I tell them time and again, whenever something happens, send word to the headquarters. Then follow your bloomin' instructions. I see. Oh my gosh. If that meddler gets his hands on any details, we'll all be reading it in Rant's magazine next month.
It's true. And you can bet your last farthing that it'll be in there too, stripped of all my hard work on the case.
That I'll be in there too. Okay, that I'll be in there too, stripped of all my hard work on the case. Sucks. Oh my gosh. I don't remember this.
Yes, Mr. Sholmes. No, Mr. Sholmes. Aren't you clever, Mr. Sholmes? That's all the thanks I'll be getting.
Inspector. You are up here? I need you to be down here. If the man is proving detrimental to the yard's activities, you can arrest him. Perhaps I should step in and deal with him? Oh my god, what? Ah!
It appears Inspector Gregson is lost for words.
Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously. He's gonna kill him. Anyway, the point is this. The little Japanese bloke's already admitted it. He's admitted that those books all over the pavement at the scene were the ones he bought that day. That was odd.
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid
that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed? Yes, they're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony.
Okay. Hold it.
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. Shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. Okay, thank you. Bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. My gosh, what's wrong with me tonight? Closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books, but it was your books that he was at. Objection. Little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mersham Street. I think it's Mersham? Maybe. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Well, what if he had to stop by somewhere else? Something like this. But what if he had to... Okay, whatever. But that's stupid, you're wrong.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance because he's an idiot.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? As if all of this isn't testimony. I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. You're an idiot.
Very well, do it. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. I hate. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. He's so done. Could the man be any more sardonic?
Bum, 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 bum,
We already know that that's wrong. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident, and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Why would you presume that, unless it was your A? Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What?
Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it. How? Yes, for what difference it makes. It's in a different place. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street okay, now. I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? He and Gregson are very close.
My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Well, it could be. Be more confident, man.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. Why? What do you mean, obviously? You didn't have the receipt! What do you mean? It turns out they're Your Books. He's just here on the next corner of Mesham Street going east. Okay. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now... Oh. Hey, Dunsies, can I have some? My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. Okay, that's good. He got us there. He really got us there. You put that glass down now or I'll put it down for you. Oh my god, Susanna! She's gonna kill him! She's gonna give him a takedown! 5-0, going after 6'4" guy, and I believe she would absolutely beat the shit out of Van Zeeks. She would destroy him. She would put him on the floor. I, didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Slightly different timing, though. Maybe.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Shut up. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Yep, you said that. Ah! Sucks to suck, Ryunosuke. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest to try. You try. My gosh. What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. He's just not British.
Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
I can't get him!
Beg your pardon. I'm terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
We'll get it.
Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Saseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books. But I mean, it's not a definitive. We can't know that he didn't go another way. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. Uh-oh. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. It's longer. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked. Objection. But he admitted to as much, though. Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. Ah. But, like, if you're socially anxious like he is, and that route is taken by more people, you might go the long way just because there's less people. Like, that is very possible. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. Why couldn't we have done this 30 minutes ago? I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Oh my god, of course! Ah! He didn't sigh, he said that. That's right. As I said, the bug seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from point A to point B. So, guess what? He could have taken the long way and not noticed. If you're spacey, you'll do that. I've done that before. At school, we had 3 flights of stairs. I went down a whole flight of stairs because I just blanked out and I was on autopilot and I had to turn around and go right back up those stairs to get to my class. And I have pain problems, so that hurt. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Is he okay? He needs to go to Japan. He needs to go home. I don't believe this. I know, right? I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, the defense still... Huh? Okay. Everyone has made up their mind. I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Of course you do. Wholeheartedly and in every way. You are a biased juror. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean another summation examination? We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Oh my god, of course you are.
Very well, in that case I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Wait, that was the same actor that did Santa's voice in the cutscene. That's the same guy.
He went, ooh.
I'll have to find the clip.
This can't be.
So, can I canonically give them the same voice? I kind of want to. I kind of want to give them the same Okay, they're gonna have the same voice. It's gonna be funny. Okay.
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous.
Well, shit. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve queen and country admirably. Of course you're gonna suck up to him now.
Mr. Naruhodo, is it time for a summonation examination?
No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. Players, in case you don't remember, I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around, turn about, if you will, somehow. Those are the eyes of quarry not yet willing to give up and die. My gosh. Also, as if he's the one that does that. Like, he has never done a day of dirty work in his life. He is pampered. He's rich. He's pampered. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Yep. You know me. Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. There you go.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination.
I'm in a goofy mood tonight, I apologize.
Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his onkus refusal to throw in his alley. I hate you.
Very well, then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Guilty!
That's what the guy sounded like. I'm sorry. Good lord. I didn't know we had one testimony, and we are already doing a summonation examination. Also, I know I'm adding a ination in there, but I think it's funny.